Hello and welcome again to the very last stage of the 2020 Randwick Council Eco Living Online Festival. We have had a phenomenal time over the last couple of days. We've had, Costa running masterclasses in composting. We've heard from experts ranging from Dr. Carl and Leslie Hughes through to experts in sustainable fashion. Obviously, when a festival that's always about community and people and getting involved has to go online, some things just can't translate. So obviously the first thing that had to go was the very last segment, the live birds of prey demonstration. You would think. But no, Randwick Council loves nothing more than a challenge. So instead of having a live interactive demonstration with huge birds of prey, and I say that because there is a wedge-tailed eagle off stage over there in my left end of my eye line of vision, because of the commitment of the people and our wonderful supporters from Feathered Friends in Western Sydney, an ARC for threatened species of birds, we are absolutely rapt to bring you the highlight of this afternoon, the very final episode in today's Eco Living Online Festival, and that is the interactive bird show with Feathered Friends. So give it up without disturbing the eagle. So very quietly clap to yourself and be very happy on the inside. Okay, that's the bird conservationist saying we can clap. All right, we can clap. Ravi, come on over and I'll hand over to you to tell us all about what's
coming on.
Thanks,
Bernie. Hey guys, how you doing? Wow, something so different, my role is to be a bird conservationist. My job is to educate people like you guys sitting at home watching this live feed on how to be bird conservationists, how to be resourceful in your environment, how to learn and cohabitate with birds in your local area. The Feathered Friends Sanctuary is an incredible sanctuary. If you haven't heard about it, please find out about us, find out about what we do. We maintain some of the world's rarest bird species, in particular, birds that call your own backyard home. Our job is to conserve, protect, breed, and educate you guys. And every single year we try to get out here to teach you guys a little bit about the birds that we get to work with. Now, this is totally different, Bernie, because we have never really been in an environment like this. We're inside. And birds, as you probably know, are always outside flying out and about. So we've done something very new today. We're bringing birds inside to this studio environment so you guys can see them firsthand on how and what we do every single day. So I'm going to introduce you very soon. Coming up is Alex. Now, Alex has got one of the most impressive birds on his glove.
So I have Odin. Odin is a wedge-tailed eagle. So they're the largest species of eagle we have in Australia. He doesn't look that big, but that's because he's a boy. Now, boys are up to 30% smaller than a female. We weren't sure if he was a boy because his aggression level is that with a girl. Girls usually defend the territory. They hunt all the big kangaroos. The boy sits in the corner and is like, I'll take the little wallaby. I don't want the big one.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and it's one of those things, when you're training a bird of prey, in particular, some birds of prey, the sexes look the same. So the genders, male and female, look exactly the same. And when we started training this particular eagle, usually the first kind of way to tell if it's a female with birds of prey is their aggression. And usually, I don't like saying this, excuse me ladies in advance, but females are the aggressive ones in wedge-tailed eagles in particular. They usually got a bit more fire and a bit more attitude, I would say.
Definitely. The females literally do hunt 60-kilo kangaroos, whereas a male will usually spend his time sitting in front of the kangaroos, distracting them, while the female comes up and makes sure that she's not seen.
I want you guys to have a look. So if you're at home and you're probably in awe of this wedge-tailed eagle, I remember when I started working with wedge-tailed eagles, it was a surreal feeling. And when you meet one, you don't say anything, you're speechless because it's an incredible bird of prey. This is an iconic bird only found here in Australia. Only found here in Australia. So when you think about bird species, this is up there. It's the creme de la crop. This is the king or queen of the sky. If you look very closely, you'll notice that this boy's got one eye and he's got a missing toe. See if you can have a look at that. Now, he's he's adapted extremely well, and this is why Odin's here. So our sanctuary is designed to taking birds just like Odin and give them a better chance, give them a chance of being rehabilitated in a program. So the sanctuary has, have a look at that, he's tearing up bits of mice, which is one of his favourite food groups, I should say. The sanctuary is designed to get eagles like this flying, because this is what they do. They soar. They get really high up in the thermals, and they ride that air pocket. So we fly him, and he gets to do the great job of meeting people up close and personal. Now, he needs a bit of space, because eagles have got really big wingspans. Check it out. Now, look really carefully. Look at those colours, okay? He's got a gold head. It's bright, blondie. He's got stripes on his feathers. That's how we tell he's a young eagle. What's he doing, Alex? He's acting all big and rough.
Mantling. So when eagles have food, they want to try and protect it from everybody else. So they drop their wings and they cover it with their tail, so you shouldn't be able to see it from behind him.
Can you see those bright colours? Like, I meet so many people that love birds of prey, and they say, look, when I saw an eagle, it was probably as high as my belly button. Now, wedge-tailed eagles do vary in size, but when they get older, ladies and gentlemen, kids and boys at home, they get darker. They get really dark, almost black-brown, and it creates this illusion that they're extremely large. And the bigger ones are usually females. Now, let's have a look at him. Bernie, I'm going to get you to have a bit of a guess here. All right, so have a look at this eagle. This is Australia's biggest bird of prey, right? This fly, and as you know, it can take down very large critters. It's got powerful feet and talons. Talons because they're so sharp and powerful that it can grab something in flight. How heavy do you reckon it is, Bernie?
I would say...
Guys, if you're at home, have a think as well, all right? Bernie's going to have a chime in.
Am I just risking anything by coming this
No,
close?
you can
great.
come on stage.
Maybe.
We've got the eagle
Yeah,
now.
great, thank you. I would say, because I'm thinking like my old puppy was about similar sort of size and about 20 kilos.
20 kilos?
Yeah, but I'm thinking there's probably a bit more musculature, although they've got to be light to fly. Oh,
That's right. The bones are hollow, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone out in the back? Any of the camera crew guys want to yell out some numbers? 15 kilos. I got 15 kilos. Go for it.
It's a reverse
5
auction.
kilos. Cameraman 1 said 5 kilos. Cameraman 2? 11.4. 11.4. Anyone else? The guy in the back? 8.2. So we're getting into grams as well, which is great. Okay. All right, Alex, let's fill everyone in. What is his weight?
He's 2.3 kilos.
2.3 kilograms.
I mean, you're all saying that's light, but he's on my arm.
2 bags of onions.
It's not light, guys.
2 bags of onions. Yeah,
I mean,
small
like
onions.
he's already eaten 2.3 kilos worth of mice just standing there. So.
It's incredible. Like these guys can eat about 1.2 kilograms. It's all right. It's almost half their weight.
Wow.
In a sitting, and they're very, very sluggish though. Imagine eating almost your body weight.
Yeah, no, I've done it, especially in ISO. Yeah.
Me too. Don't worry. COVID has done nothing for me here because that's what happens. You eat,
I'm just glad they didn't close the drive-through for Macca's.
Yeah. Look, well, I mean, imagine eating almost half your body weight. These guys are like big jumbo jets that can't get up in the air.
Yeah.
And this is the number one reason they come in, Bernie. Guys, if you're at home and you look at, I believe the borders of the South Australia borders open. Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure what's happened.
Yeah. Well, if it's opening, it's opened. People are travelling. Eagles are found as you travel New South Wales, or you start to travel. Remember, when these guys start to eat, they eat almost half their body weight. So it takes them a long time to get up off the ground. It's the number one reason they come in, because they get hit by cars. Because they've eaten this huge amount of food and they can't get up off the ground.
Yeah.
Wedge-tailed eagles fill the role of vultures in Australia. So they're like the clean-up crew to prevent disease from rotting carcasses.
That's exactly right. So this is gross. I mean, we eat jerky.
It's an important biological function.
Absolutely. But imagine, these guys will eat fresh food, but they'll also eat food that is being consumed by maggots.
Right.
So weeks old, rotten food that's been sitting in the sun, these guys can eat it. So they're fantastic for the ecosystem, and they have an essential role to clean it all up. So when you're driving around, guys, remember the number one reason they come in is because of car accidents. That's number one. The second one is poisoning. Birds of prey are always getting what we call secondary poisoning. So the average household, the fifth home, usually uses some sort of rhododendrocide or some sort of bait poisoning.
Right.
And that, if you think of a mouse that's eaten some rat bait, it's sort of kind of a bit sluggish, but it takes about 5 days for a mouse to die.
Yeah.
Right, it's very, very sluggish, and a bird of prey will hear that or see that and go, well, that's an easy meal.
Oh, no.
They'll fly down and grab that mouse, and then they'll take it back and share it with the rest of their family. It's spring, birds are breeding. Be very conscious, guys. There are so many great ways to learn about how to live around your bird life.
Well, and interesting you should say that, Robbie, because I'm really curious about. I don't imagine we get any wedge-tailed eagles in the eastern suburbs.
No, well, look, I mean, wedge-tailed eagles fly on thermals, so they're up there riding the best, blast of wind they can possibly find, and they have been sighted out here flying overhead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard for a wedge-tailed eagle to sort of accustom themselves into an urban sort of environment. They really do rely on open landscape, but they have been spotted out here. Right.
And I should say, it's not just my questions. If you've got a question
Please
for
fill
Ravi
them
or
through.
Alex, send it through now, and I'll feed them through to Ravi. Oh, hello!
we
it's
have
like
questions.
an old school telethon.
We
Bring
ask
it down.
and they shall come. That's great. Look, you'll get things like sea eagles out here. You'll get things like little eagles, which basically are very much literally that, a small eagle. And they'll fly overhead. So you've got some questions.
Got some quick wedge-tail ones. So what do wedge-tail eagles eat?
Well, they'll
Apart
eat,
from mice?
I mean, you've seen them eat mice. We feed them rabbits. We feed them kangaroo. They'll eat anything that they can literally fly down and hunt. They're not really fussy. They're not bird hunters.
You did mention the maggot-ridden
That's right.
carcasses
Not
before.
fussy, right? Yeah. What's the next one you got?
Okay, so what from Anna, which family does
Hi,
this eagle belong to?
This particular eagle, we only have a few eagles here in Australia. We have the wedge-tailed eagle and we have the little eagle. So the group of eagles are called aquila. And if you're looking at them at home, Anna, type in aquila and you'll see all the eagles that these guys are closely related to. The wedge-tailed eagle is one of the only eagles across the world, that genus is across the world, that's almost completely unchanged.
Fantastic.
Australia's a great place.
We've got some other questions, but they're about non-wedge-tailed eagles.
Oh, non-wedge-tailed eagle questions.
Some barn owls.
Oh,
so it might
Bernie,
be-
can I interest you in a bit of an experience?
I am, as long as it doesn't involve eating maggot-riddled carcasses.
It's a little bit
I'm
gross
with
because
you.
you've got to hold something, okay?
Okay.
Now, there's a group of birds that you'll find out here in the council, in our LGA, right?
Yep.
And they only come out at night time,
Yep.
all right? There are nocturnal birds, and they tune in perfectly with your questions, can I say?
I'm very happy
And it's
about
like
that.
you read my mind. I've got something around here. It's a glove. So you
Yeah,
saw
okay.
Alex hold the glove.
Yep.
You'll have to excuse it. I was flying this morning.
and a spleen.
And,
Okay.
and a head. There's a little bit of guts on this glove,
That's okay.
but it comes with my job.
Yep.
We get to fly birds of prey, guys. So if you're at home and you're looking for something to do outside that's COVID safe, we teach people like you how to fly birds of prey.
Oh, really?
Essentially not inside though. So we have 20 acres of natural habitat where birds of prey can fly.
Yeah.
It's called a hawker's experience where
A
people get
hawker's
to fly
experience,
them.
okay.
Now you're holding a mouse head.
Yep.
Okay, this bird loves eating mice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And it's not a wedge-tailed eagle.
No, it's not. But I almost would love to see your reaction
To the
if we
2.5
could.
kilo.
Yeah, that's right. This particular bird loves eating mice. Okay, so when we're talking about birds that live in your local area, this is a bird you'll find, and you'll find so many birds in that area as well, similar to this. Look, you've seen it, haven't
I've
you?
seen it.
She's
I'm
smiling.
so excited.
All right. Okay.
I'm a total bird nerd, so
We'll get along well, won't we? All right, so what we're going to do now, we've trained these birds,
Yep.
okay, to hear a particular sound. Now, this could be very confusing because we're live and the speakers are around here.
Yep.
So we're going to make a sound which says mice.
Yep.
All right, she's going to think mice are everywhere in this room because
Okay.
if you're back at home, there are speakers situated through in here, so mice are going to be coming out everywhere to her, so it's going to be Christmas. Okay, you ready?
There's no way she's going to find that tiny bit of mouse on the glove.
No, but you're going to help her because
okay.
this particular bird absolutely loves hearing its food.
All right.
And then it gets a little bit excited, But they have this adaptation, all right, where they can sneak up to their prey without them even knowing it's
Right.
coming.
Uh-oh.
All right? All right, so what they do is they have this thing called silent flight.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really being COVID safe.
Oh, no,
am
that's
I?
all right. Yeah, sorry. I was tested last week.
Here we go. There you go. Have a look at that.
God.
Look, go for it.
If I had not seen her flying towards me, There was nothing. It was
Absolutely.
literally silent. I can't tell you how absolutely beautiful she is. She is. I've got.
You can get a nice close photo as well. Have a look
Really?
at that.
She does like noses and ears.
Now, while you're in awe, my bird nerd friend Birdie,
I want to give her some more mouse.
oh, look, I've got a whole bag of
Yeah,
chopped
great.
up mice here.
Oh.
This is a barn owl. Okay, very easy to tell apart. It's white. It's got a heart-shaped disc, and this is Bernie. This is Alex's favourite bird
Oh,
by
she's
far. Would I say that's your
beautiful.
favourite bird by far?
Don't tell Odin.
Don't
but,
know.
yeah.
Oh, Odin's definitely up there. He's
Odin's
dropped a
up
leg
there.
on the ground. I don't know if you saw that.
I helped raise her 10 years ago.
Serious?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she's
How
one
old
of my
is she?
favourites.
She's
10.
10
10
now.
now, yep.
Oh my God.
Look, she
And-
likes the mice head, so I'm
Yep.
going to give you another head, okay?
Yeah, look, Alex might be your papa, but I've got the junk food.
Now, she's flown up the top here. Now, this is quite good for you to understand. So when you're back at home, where do owls hunt? They are perch and pounce hunters. So they literally, Bernie,
Yep.
they jump up on a perch, sit
Yep.
there, and they scan the grasslands listening,
Yes.
all right? They listen to something that sounds like this. So I'm going to get you to do it. It's the
Yep.
boom, there it
Oh
is.
my giddy aunt.
So they literally fly in, land in, catch their mouse. Now they've got extremely incredible foot pressure, which allows them to grab that mouse. Watch her swallow it whole. Now we'll warn you. Oh, you're very lucky, because I did this with somebody else, and she didn't swallow the mouse properly. It's kind of like a bowling ball in her mouth, and it just rolled out and smacked that person in the mouth. So we missed that opportunity. I would have
Very
loved
good.
it for camera and for you guys at home, but it didn't happen.
I can't tell you how satisfied she looked when she was eating it either. It's like,
With her smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is so beautiful. What's her name?
Giselle.
Giselle. Oh my God.
She's incredible. Giselle is one of our ambassador owls. So
Yeah.
what that means...
She's got diplomatic immunity. So
yeah,
any,
that's the thing.
yeah.
That's exactly right. What it means to you guys at home, we find the only way that we can raise community awareness,
Yep.
all right, and awareness within, areas where we can start educating people about the importance of these incredible birds is by showing them.
It's just.
Well, I mean, look, this is the reaction we want.
Well, it's so unbelievable. I mean, you see photos, you see. Did you just give me another mouse head?
Yeah, we want it to go in your mouth. I'm sorry, Bernie. We tried hard. We wanted.
Giselle, oh, you're so beautiful. She really does squish her eyes up with really squints.
They do, because they've got to swallow it.
You're magnificent. Like, you just can't get how incredibly beautiful she is, how just, it's all the best bits of, all the best bits of nature. It's like seeing an incredible waterfall or mountain or a really old tree or something. This is, and she's one of our native species.
But that's exactly right. So you'll get barn owls out here.
Yeah.
You'll get a few other species. You'll get things like powerful owls.
Yeah.
They're from the hawk owl family, so they're brown.
Yep.
They look like a hawk, so
Yep.
that's why we call them hawk owl group.
Yeah.
Boobook owls, it's a small little owl that catches insects. Look, they're incredible. And the thing you need to remember, guys, if you live in this area or you're chiming in from just out of the area, owls are a very shy creature. So being able to see them this close, right,
Phenomenal.
is incredible.
Because I know that some were nesting in Centennial Park.
Yeah, that's
and-
right. Powerful owls.
Powerful owls.
Yeah,
not barn
So
owls,
they're the
yeah.
ones that they will sit in a tree and they will just pretend like they're not there.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I've tried it myself. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. Now, do we have
You've got
room
questions?
for some
Yeah,
questions?
absolutely.
So April has asked, do barn owls live alone or in pairs?
They're very social. They'll live. I mean, they'll live with their family normally. So you'll have a mother owl and a father owl, if you
Yeah.
like, and then you'll have their offspring. Look, I've seen barn owls. Oh, Giselle's loving it in here. She's flying around.
Mouse.
This
yeah.
habitat you guys have done, Randwick City Council, is perfect. This is what we should do in our local area, and birds will come.
Oh, fantastic.
They're very social.
Okay, we've got some quick other questions. Abby sent in a bunch of questions. Why are owls so silent?
Oh, that's a great question. And you couldn't even notice when it flew up to you.
No.
On the fringes of the barn owl's wing, or owls in general, they've got broken phyllo plumes. All right, which basically means little tiny hairs, if you like, to break it down. So when they're flying, it sort of distorts any sound. They're extremely light. Now, a wedge-tailed eagle, we said, was 2.3 to 2.4 kilos, and they get up to about 3.5 kilos as well, if you're a girl, because female eagles are bigger. Barn owls. What weight do you reckon that owl is? I mean, you've had it on your hand.
She was nothing. I'd say 500 grams.
Look, you're pretty close. She's around 300
Wow.
grams.
Sorry, I hope I didn't give you any body shaming issues there. With,
Not at all. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look,
Where is she?
she was
My hair
here.
just fluffed. There's literally no sound. The little
It's incredible.
the hairs on the end.
And that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to see them, they do the best job blending in, being quiet. I mean, she stands out now, but the white at night time, when she's out, is definitely blends in with the surrounds. And if you looked at those beautiful feathers at the start, rewind the video, guys. Have a look at the at the end of this segment. Rewind the video. Have a look at her feathers. They've got these beautiful grey spotted feathers. I mean, they're designed to blend into grasslands, rural habitat.
So beautiful. Oh, that's interesting because where do they nest was also a question.
Yeah,
from
look,
Abby.
I mean, like the name suggests, barn owl. I've had to relocate owls out of schools, out of people's garages, you know, literally out of barns, which is the great typical thing. I love it when their name says what they do. But even nest boxes now, Alex is in particular a birds of prey conservationist.
Yeah.
That's his main role at the sanctuary. Guys, if you want to learn more about birds of prey, we are happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Just shout out to us as well.
And so can people just go on a weekend or something, any day of the week or just weekends?
Look, Thursday to Sunday.
Perfect.
We allow people to travel through our 20-acre natural habitat. 20 acres of natural habitat.
Amazing.
You will go for a walk and you'll fly a gazelle. You'll fly a wedge-tailed eagle or you'll fly a hawk.
Okay.
And the best thing is, these are all rehabilitated birds. These are birds that couldn't be released back out into the wild.
Yep.
You get orphans that come in and have got nowhere to go and they're not releasable because they've lost that window.
And so you're part of the breeding programs as well to make sure that we keep these species.
That's right. So we have, so many cool threatened bird species.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a terrible, wonderful thing to say, isn't
yeah.
it? But yeah.
It's an incredible feeling to know that you're helping bird life. It's terrible that we're in this situation.
Yeah.
The December fires did cause a lot of tragedy for local wildlife across the whole. So please, if you are in this LGA, do understand that birds do call Randwick home. First and foremost, everyone's like, oh, they're not in the city. I've seen boobook owls live. I mean, you said powerful owls in Centennial Park.
Yeah.
I've seen boobook owls living in Hyde Park.
Oh, really?
And I've seen them catch.
In Hyde Park, in the middle of the city.
In Hyde Park. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I came out of, back in the days when I was much younger, I came out of a pub late at night and there was birds adapting to a nightlife.
Oh, really?
Because people are still active, shaking it off, and you've got cockroaches out, owls catching cockroaches. It's too pity most of the people that are walking through there at 1 o'clock are not their normal selves to notice the birds that are living around you.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we've got just Sam's quick question before we move on from the Giselle, who's called absolutely
Adorable.
wonderful. Sam's asked, what do barn owls eat? So we know mouse heads is her favourite.
Well, mice is their absolute favourite. And since they're a pest species, they are feral. And I'm sure everyone's had a mouse in their house at some point. You might be a bit shy to admit it, but mice do. As it gets hotter, as spring kicks in, the rain kicks in, mice will come.
Yeah.
All right, and they will come because you've got cereal in your top shelf, or you've got chickens in your backyard and there's seed. Mice will come. Just understand that owls want to sneak in there and steal that mice out there for you. So,
perfect.
And that's the number one reason why owls come in.
And so we don't want to poison mice.
We do not want to poison them. And look,
poison.
the thing is, there are so many other methods. They've now released a very incredible way of, removing rodents from your local area. It's a different type of pellet, which doesn't actually affect wildlife or your dogs. If you've got a dog or a cat, this is the pellet you want to get. Now, I've seen them. This isn't a plug for Bunnings.
Sorry, we're not on the ABC. We're totally at Randwick Council.
Yeah,
so.
well, it's not a plug for Bunnings, but at Bunnings they do just distribute this new product, which basically is not it's not a fatal bait. It's animal safe, but it only targets rats and mice.
Wow.
Have a look at it. It's a new product.
Do you know the name of it?
I couldn't tell you the top of my head the name of it for some reason.
We can research it.
But you can have a look at it. Go to Bunnings.
And
ask
if someone
for a
can
safe
send
one.
it through on our chat line.
If you find it at home, have a look. Look, it is fantastic. There are other ways to learn to live around, but just please put a nest box up. Put the plants behind the backdrop in your backyard. They will come. Put a bird bath out there. They will come. And you're going to get things like hawk owls. Now, I've got a treat for you. You're going to feed a baby owl.
Oh, my God.
So this is what happens. You plan a habitat and birds will come.
I mean, it's going to be messy.
I hope so.
This is a baby sooty owl. So you've already prepped the food, have you?
Yeah, I've got it.
I'll take your glove.
Yeah.
All right. And guys, keep feeding through your questions. We'd love to answer them for you.
Yeah,
So
totally.
sooty owls are one of our endangered species of owls we have in Australia. So unlike the barn owls, they are related, so they have the love heart-shaped face. But these guys are almost pitch black all over their body.
Wow. Where do we find them?
You usually find them down in gullies and rainforest areas. You can usually hear them first. They sound like somebody's being murdered.
It's a scream.
It's the
You
only
know
way
when
to
you're-
describe it.
Yeah, and you know when you put
Yeah.
old school kettle on a stove
Yeah.
and it goes, "Meow."
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And then they do a bomb drop too.
All right. It was a bomb drop.
Yeah, it's called it's a bird nerd lingo.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
like-
Clearly, I'm not nerd enough
we'll
for that.
update you later. Don't worry. Look, it's like it's a bomb drop. I call it a pin drop because bomb's probably not the right word, but anyway, a pin drop like a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I getting it right?
Oh, not really.
Anyway, just find it on YouTube.
Much better, yeah.
You'll find a sooty owl call. This is sooty owl, and it's a baby
What's this one's name?
No name yet.
yet to
No
be
name.
named.
Oh, I wonder if our
Community.
audience
Look,
could
we'll
maybe
love.
too.
But it's
You
I'm
just
very
looked
fussy
at
with
me.
the names.
Okay, brown eyes is what is coming to me, but she just looked at
Brown
me.
eyes,
Is
that's-
it a boy or a girl?
We don't know yet.
And you won't know until.
We get a camera put inside.
We'll have a look at her
Wow.
when she's a
okay.
bit older.
Yeah,
We
I'm
can-
chill with the non-binary thing for now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's just
I'm okay too.
let her
With birds,
identify
everything's
herself.
internal. Nothing's external.
Ah, and so we've got a question from Jess because this is a baby sooty with no name yet. How big will the baby sooty grow? Oh my God!
Almost
so-
fully grown
It's
right
almost
now.
fully grown now. Come over.
I mean, you
serious?
can't
This
really
isn't an
see
egg
it.
zone.
I don't
You
want
can
to
get
freak
close.
her out.
No.
Everybody on the internet used to be obsessed with how long owls' legs are. I've been raising owls for over 10 years. It's
We'll
just normal.
We'll show you so you can understand.
Their legs are always long. Because
It's a
to
Furby
penetrate
baby,
through grass.
honestly. Yeah, I don't know if Furbies are still around, but when I was
Yeah.
younger, they had Furbies.
Oh my
Anyone
God.
in their 30s at home that can relate, Furbies. Think of a Furby. It reminds me of a Furby.
So when this little guy stands up, he stands up about this tall.
Oh my God! Can you encourage him to stand up?
It only usually does that when it feels threatened.
Okay,
They
we
go
don't want
really
to
tall.
see that.
When
We
it shows
don't want
its
to
full
see
height.
that. Okay, because I've seen. Do you know Leela Jeffries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leela's
Incredible
photography.
photography.
If you haven't already, if you don't know Leela's work, just look up Birdland or Leela Jeffries, and she's got photos
Of
of
sooty owls too,
yeah,
yeah.
and the barn owl we had before standing with its legs fully
Really
extended.
taut,
It
yeah.
looks like one of
Captain
Cook, how they wore those bad trousers.
Yeah.
It was Anyway,
Look, they. You can hear. I don't know if you can
She's
hear
going-
that. Hear that?
So baby owls are very noisy. Adult owls are very quiet. It usually takes, when you hand raise an owl, about 3 years for you to want to not wear earplugs.
She's quite
This
quiet.
is
at the
quite
moment.
quiet
This is very
now,
quiet.
but it gets ear piercing and
oh my God, is that her saying
ridiculous.
more food, please?
Yeah.
And
This
it's
is her
her
going, Mum, I'm
communing
here.
to her. Yeah.
But normally in the wild, this would attract predators. So
Oh.
the parents would be able to communicate a lot better and
Yeah.
usually
We can't
bite the
speak
babies,
owl.
No.
push the babies
try.
off, fly away from the babies until they learn.
One of
Oh my
the
God.
things that you need to understand is, she's a part of our breeding program. Well, I say
Yeah.
she,
Yeah.
for no particular reason. But this particular owl's from our breeding program, and this bird's parents are the worst parents we've ever come
really?
across.
Seriously.
Because
If they had docs for birds,
because the mother she'll get them all the way to the end of incubation.
Yeah.
And she will just abandon them when they get up.
And so
She
is this the mother's first, or she's had several?
she's
and
had
been-
about 45 babies.
And she's abandoned them all.
If we don't step in, they don't live past 12 hours.
Oh my God.
She literally will hatch them out, which is 30 days. She has
Yeah.
to sit on this egg. She has to get the humidity right. She has to get the temperature right. And she's so good at that. And then as soon as they hatch out of the egg, it's nothing.
How?
She
It's
just
quite
leaves the
sharp
nest
though,
box
isn't
and she
it?
goes, "You're on your own. I've done
Oh,
my job."
I can see why they can tear open meat. Yeah. Look, I've got some questions
Yeah, I'd
here
love
as
a little
well,
bit of-
Bernie.
Oh,
the
cheers,
team's
thanks.
palming through. So, how big are they when they are born? Look, they hatch out of an egg that's
Way smaller than that. They hatch out of an egg this big.
Like a pigeon
like a
egg
pig-
sort of size?
Yeah,
like
so
a
they're
ping
about this
pong
big when they're
ball.
born. This
Oh my God.
species,
She's really hungry. Can you give me some more mouse? Thanks.
Can you hook me up? Yeah.
So baby
Do I
owls
have
like
to
the
make
gutty
her
bits.
work for it, or?
No.
No, you can give it to her. Look, she behind all this down, which is what it is.
Yeah.
It keeps designed to keep it warm. You can see those feathers.
She's got feathers.
Oh my
So
God, she's
that should all start to fall out soon.
That gives me an asthma attack of a night.
Oh no.
Because it's just
She flaps around and fluff goes everywhere, and
When
I
you
have to
say
constantly...
in the night, like is she living in
She
your
has to
home?
come home with
they
me.
have to come home with their carers because
only
it's
a
a
baby.
24-hour job.
Yeah.
She's only
Be
6 weeks
careful.
old. She's only
She's
6
only
weeks old.
6 weeks
And look,
old.
she's got a big job ahead of her because she has to be an ambassador for her species. So we
Yeah.
will take her to schools, when schools
Oh my
programs start
God.
coming out. And this is how you help people understand about
Yeah.
how to conserve birds.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
people, yeah.
It was a male mouse, so meatballs too.
Spaghetti and meatballs. Look, conservation, look, I mean, this is what it's about. If you're thinking about, how do you live around birds, this is what it's about. This is a rare species found here in Australia. Nocturnal, you hear them, we've only seen them a handful of times because they are so hard to find.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our career.
Sooty owls you'll normally hear, but
Yeah.
never see.
Wow.
So-
Because of the bomb dropping.
Well,
noise.
most owls are designed to be almost invisible. So like the barn owl you saw before,
Yeah.
white is amazing because it can absorb all colour around it of a nighttime. So from underneath you can almost not see it at all, and then because they're a darker colour on the back, if any predators above them, they can't see them either.
That's just so counterintuitive because you would think white at night
Yeah, absolutely.
is.
absolutely.
But I guess there's not usually lights in
It
natural, apart from
absorbs
moonlight.
all of
and
it,
it's- Wow.
And look, owls do live in your area, and in terms of population, you'll be surprised how many owls you'll find out and about if you start to really read your environment. Places you'll see owls are places where there's lots of lights. Where there's lights, there's bugs, and you'll find owls living around them as well.
Okay, we've got another question. Abby.
Abby.
is my kind of girl. She's all about the birds. How old do they live to? So we're still talking about the
sooty
owls here.
She can breed if she's a girl up until about 30 and
Holy
live till about
dooly.
40.
So
With perfect conditions.
Yeah.
So in the wild, we kind of say half that.
No,
Yeah.
in the wild for these guys is about 9 years.
So
Because a
it's-
female puts all her energy to staying in a hollow to breeding,
Yeah.
and their nest boxes are disgusting.
And
They're literally made out of the decaying matter of what they eat.
Actually, Bernie, if you jump on our YouTube channel, so it's Feathered Friends Animal Productions, if you click on that, there's a video on her parents.
oh, really?
And actually, you'll see you'll see Alex's. Actually, there'll be some
vomit-worthy.
owls on the front cover of that
Yeah.
episode, and you'll see her box with all the rotten remains of
I
what
think
she
I
has
pulled out
eaten.
96 mice. It's vomit worthy. You open that box,
Yeah,
you can
no.
smell it.
But that's how they are. That's what
Yeah.
they're like in the
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. And
Like, keep warm.
what was I going to ask? The can't remember. Sorry.
That's all right.
So no, normally you've said that her suboptimal mother has had something like 45.
Attempts.
She's had the problem with certain species is that especially with threatened species, we don't have a lot to start with.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like when you're looking at being a conservationist, you don't have. There's not a lot of facilities that have rare birds.
Yeah.
We're one of the main ones.
So in the wild, so say a sooty breeding couple that might only live to be 9 or something, how many generations would they
Continuously.
Right.
So continuously round the clock, they'd have babies and raise them up
have? So like once a year or?
3 times a year.
Oh my God.
They will try their best to take every opportunity they
Depends
can.
on food availability. So
Yeah.
the more food, the more they'll breed.
So they're not seasonal like every spring or something. It's, yep.
That's
done.
why the parents have had so many.
It's like I'm
best
one of 12
situation.
children, so I'm totally feeling what they're going through. Yeah.
Barn owls actually can have up to 12 babies at once, depending on the amount of food.
You were a
Wow.
barn owl.
I
Yeah.
mean, 12 don't usually survive. The babies eat each other.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
my
lot-
family.
There's a lot of siblicide. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But I think
Oh,
one of the
dear.
most amazing things is owls are actually indicator species. So if you
Yeah.
have them in your environment, it usually means your environment's pristine. It's
Yeah.
usually great. Same as frogs.
And is that because they're a high order predator or
Yeah,
with
because
the
they
owls?
hunt a lot of the food that will leave first.
Ah, okay, great. Oh my God.
I mean, in terms of encouraging them to your environment, one of the biggest things, I've seen a lot of communities that really go, you know what, we really want to support owls. Now, this is really important because people put nest boxes up,
Yep.
owls do come.
Yep.
The problem is, you've got to talk to your neighbours and say, hey, please don't bait.
Yes.
So they do start to move in, because once they breed, the babies have got to find their own footing, they've
Yeah.
got to find their own place.
Yeah.
And obviously they change their normal range a little bit to do that. So we call that the dispersal.
Yep.
So really work with your community. There's quite a few communities in rural areas that go, hey guys, look, we're trying to use this, we're trying to be conscious, we're trying to encourage ours. Do that with your local community. And it could just be as simple as putting in a letter going, hi, I'm putting some owl boxes up to encourage ours. Please be mindful, this is the number one thing. And that's as simple as that. And that's what conservation is. It don't rely on, a system, a particular organisation to save species. You can do it yourself. 100%. And look, I'm working with so many different families that are doing the same thing, and you can do it. Schools are doing it, your local community. You might even go home and do it too.
Oh, mate,
then.
I tell you, we've got bird boxes in our street, but
Oh,
no,
really?
I want to find out what we're trying to go for. We've got 20 frogmouths. Okay, so Kim has asked, how much does he eat a day? So the baby...
The baby should, yeah. So,
6 to 10 adult mice at this stage.
Wow.
Which is like 4 times the amount an adult would eat.
No wonder you grew from naught to this in
And
6 weeks.
this is in captivity as well. We can feed them that because we know they're hungry, so we'll keep feeding them, which is why they keep calling.
They get everything thought for them. We have our own veterinary team that jump in. We take them home with us. They've got intensive care units.
You're a hothouse owl.
Yeah. We stay up through the night every night. So, I mean, it is a dedication. And look, and we love sharing it with people. And look, if you're thinking about how you can learn about them and just a little bit more, it's Feathered Friends Bird Sanctuary. We're located in Western Sydney. And it is an incredible eye-opener to go, you know what? I'm going to encourage these to my area.
It's so fantastic. It's certainly given me a lot of excitement and emotion. And we had one question earlier that I wanted to leave to last. So the first question was for both Ravi and Alex. What is, without offending any of your mates here today, what is your favourite bird?
I'm going to say the black cockatoos, the red-tailed black cockatoos. We have one of the largest flocks of black cockatoo in Australia. And when I say that flocks, I mean we free-fly red-tailed black cockatoos like you would see them flying over the freeway. Wow. We let them out in the morning. They fly through the property. People come and feed them nuts, almonds, and they're incredible. They're a threatened species. They're endangered from Australia, red-tailed black cockatoo, and they are so sweet.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And very peaceful.
I'm more a yellowtail girl,
Sort of
and we
girl.
get them coming up our river, so it's pretty special. Yeah,
and look, you hear them, and it just instantly relaxes you. So the red-tailed black cockatoo is my favourite.
Alex?
I don't know.
You had all that time to think about
it. Let's go with the studio. Now, Odin's a close one.
Yeah.
See, I work with 4 wedge-tailed eagles, like 10 owls, hawks, falcons.
How many of them are living with you at home?
I only take babies home.
Only the babies, yeah.
Nobody wants to listen to that all night. Nobody. My girlfriend dies every night. She's like, it doesn't stop. I'm like, it still needs food. It needs to come.
So perfect. I mean, he's come to Bernie.
Oh, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see this, but he's snuggled in so well there.
Yeah, I smell of dead mouse, so that's
you
comforting.
are the perfect area to sit with.
Well, I think we're going to have to wrap it up there, but I can't thank you enough, and I really can't thank enough our everyone at home who sent questions. I hope we got to them all. Sorry, it was a bit distracting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being up here, but you can always get to Feathered Friends out in Western Sydney. And
look, and ways that you can connect with us. Our Facebook, our Instagram, Feathered Friends up on Facebook. Look for this logo, and we've got a YouTube channel as well, so you can actually see what the birds are doing all the time.
Is there bird cam?
Well, we take the camera around.
You can see all the 92 mice.
Yeah, we want people to know how to live around them. So Facebook, Instagram, and you can have a look.
I reckon we'll be putting some links up on the Randwick Council website. Yep, that's all happening. And are we going to have this video available later if people missed it? I reckon we probably will have that as well. So, but thank you so much. I can't get any closer. I'm probably a little bit dodgy there. But Ravi and Alex from Feathered Friends, that has just been the most beautiful way to end the Eco Living Online Festival. And it's been my absolute joy to be here with you and all of our other presenters over the last couple of days. And I cannot thank enough the ridiculously talented and hardworking team at Randwick Council, Helen Morrison and her team, team, Peter McGarnoff, who heads up environment, and we had the terrific team handling all the technical stuff. Christine, who devised and developed and delivered managed all the crazy celebrity eco quiz, which was just spectacular, and you, of course, because none of this is anything without knowing that you're there watching and enjoying and taking part. So thanks so much for making eco living online come life in 2020. Hopefully we'll see you next year, in person, and we can all get to hang out with the birds then. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
Bye.